For the past 4 years, this van has been our cozy home. Just the four of us. But not anymore, because we have been receiving some unwanted guests. After traveling all over Europe in my trusty van Sophie, it was a welcoming change of pace when last winter we were invited to come and stay on this beautiful property for a while. One of my ultimate favorite things about being here is being submerged in nature. And the longer we are here, my cozy van Sophie is slowly becoming one with her surroundings. Good morning, everyone. From a beautiful spring day in the Netherlands. And it's a beautiful morning, but I didn't have a great night. Because I have little critters that are trying to get into the van and are sort of in the van already under the hood. And I need to go figure it out because they make lots of noise at night and also they can destroy stuff. And I have not seen them inside the van yet, but I don't want them around my stuff or in the car. So we need to try and figure this out. In all the years that we've been living in the van, we've never experienced this before. And I was starting to feel really anxious about any damages that they could have been doing to the van. There were clear signs under the hood that some type of critter was using this as a safe space to have some snacks. And I could also clearly see some droppings. Okay, so I think we're dealing with mice. So I think about 2 nights ago, I was hearing so much banging that I thought it was a pine marten. And I think they destroy stuff. So I kept running out of the van, opening this up, checking. But then the banging I was hearing were acorns. They were falling. The mice were dragging them in there. I think the problem is mice. The only little critters that I've seen around here are mice. So, yeah. Let's clean this mess up. Pretty difficult to reach. Wait, I'm actually seeing big footprints. Okay, so these are definitely not from a mouse. These footprints are way bigger. So I don't know what this has been, but there's something. That's maybe a marten. So I've definitely had a bigger visitor. And I think I'm going to order the sonar thing to keep them away because this is not fun. Okay, I discovered another issue. There seems to be some sort of nest under the car, like in some sort of like a pocket. And I actually put the camera on there to video it to see if any creatures would go in and out. to see if there's maybe eggs in there. Maybe it's a bird's nest or maybe it's a mouse nest. But to see if there's any critters in there. But there's nothing coming and going. I've videoed it for hours. There's nothing coming or going. So I think I'll just remove it. But that's what you get when you're out here in nature. Something's rusting here. I don't like that. My sweet fan has so much rust. Stop rusting, Sophie. Just stay alive. Oh, I don't like this. It's not my favorite activity. I don't like this. There's also some rust here. No, don't rust, Sophie. Don't rust. Please, stay alive. Gonna scare the crap out of me if there's something gonna come running out. Gonna wiggle back. Okay, I cannot see, but it doesn't really look like it's made by a bird. It's maybe made by a mouse, but do mice carry moss? I don't know. I don't think there's anything living in there. Oh, if there's gonna be eggs in here, I'm gonna be devastated. But yeah, otherwise I won't be able to use my van for weeks. Oh. I'm so scared that a critter is going to run out on top of me. How much more? Still. Oh, that scared me. My hand did the electricity. I'm not. Oh, scares me. Scares me so much. There's so much more. That. Oh. Okay. No other nests? Okay. Okay, all done.
Since I've been living in my van, I no longer look at her as just a vehicle or as a means of transportation. She's also my safe space, my home. And just like I would with any other home, I put a lot of love and care into maintaining her. Since she has been parked under beautiful pine trees, she has been bedazzled with pine resin. And because I want to move her, I first need to clean the windshield. I've never really lived in areas with lots of pine trees before, and I absolutely love that their luscious green colors stand out so much in wintertime. It's also amazing how their scent fills the fresh air that surrounds me. My favorite type of tree in these woods is one that always used to confuse me. The larch always looked like a pine tree to me and makes the tiniest little pine cones that are my absolute favorite to collect. But they were fooling me because even though they have needles, they are actually deciduous and they drop their needles in autumn. Somehow I had understood that the main difference between pine and deciduous trees was needles, pine cones, and evergreen or not. So when I first experienced the larch in autumn, I felt completely bamboozled. But after I gave it some more thought, I realized this is actually my favorite thing about the larch. It just lives by its own rules, and I think that makes them even cooler. Through the whole month of April, we have been experiencing some sort of a drought. Very little rain has come down from the heavens. And even though I know that when the first big rainfall comes, nature is going to explode even more, I'm so mesmerized by the resilience of nature. Even though everything that's around me could really use a big splash of water, it's all thriving. I try to keep that in mind whenever life throws something at me, that you always have enough inside of you to thrive anyway.
I'm just having a little break, and I do this every day. There's the wood storage for the firewood, and the mice, they live in the shed and all in the wood. And every day I sit here and I have my lunch and I see them, and I'm starting to learn the paths that they take, and they have places that they like to sit in the sun. And they are so adorable. I've really enjoyed watching them. It's just now that they want to come live in the van is when it's becoming a problem, but they are so adorable to watch.
When I was a young girl, I always wanted a pet. So I was always asking for a dog. I've probably asked for cats also multiple times, but I also really wanted a dog. But that was never going to happen. But what I was allowed to keep as a pet were mice. So my brother and I have had a whole bunch of mice. And we always kept 2 at a time. One for my brother and one for me. And I remember I used to love hanging out with these mice. I always took the mouse up to my room and I was feeding it all sorts of stuff. And I had so much fun hanging out with my mouse. And sitting here every day, eating my lunch, looking at these mice running around, just does something to the little Kim that's living inside of me. It brings back so many memories of when I was young. And I just enjoy them so much. Even though I've really loved observing the mice, I did decide to create a new spot on the property closer to the main house, where hopefully we will be safer. I tried to envision how to make it less enticing for the mice to come and visit us again, and decided to create a more open spot with lesser leaves on the ground to hide in and no more acorns close by. This meant I had to clear a patch of invasive trees and bring out the power tools. I've still been looking into other options on how to fix this issue, and I've seen that there's a product on the market that gives off a high-pitched noise to ward off the critters, and I'm considering to maybe buy one for the van. But I am still thinking about it though, because this property is so full of wildlife and I do not want to disturb any of the wildlife that's here. And also, I can also hear the high-pitched noises, and my dogs probably can too. So I am worried it might be an awful thing for us to experience too. For now, I have put drops of mint and eucalyptus oil on the hood to hopefully keep the mice and the marten away.
So, moment of truth. I cleared the space. I'm going to drive her there now. It's over there. But I'm going to start the van. I haven't started the van in a while, but if there's any damage from the animals, I might get some lights. Hopefully she just starts. Okay. SRS. Restraint System. Visit workshop. What's the SRS? Let me Google it. What is SRS? Okay, so it has something to do with seat belts, and it's also gone. I see, but it says SRS. So, oh, she isn't starting, but maybe I waited too long. Nothing's happening. She's not starting. Now, in theory, the battery cannot be dead. I think. Crap, she's not starting. Why is she not starting? The battery cannot be dead, I think, because she's been on the electrical setup, and I think that also nothing's happening. But there's battery for this. ESP, it's saying ABS. It's 3 messages. Crap. What's going on? ESP, ABS. ESP I've seen before. Okay, why is everything breaking down? I'm getting more and more messages. I haven't started her in a while. What's happening? ESP. Nothing's. She's not starting at all. Oh crap. ESP, ABS. Nothing's happening. I'm gonna call my dad.
In these moments, I am so incredibly grateful that my dad knows a lot about cars and I can always go in for some advice. And as we were discussing what could potentially be the problem, I tried it again and she actually started.
Oh, nu gaat hij wel. Speedtronic Cruise Control Visit Workshop.
As soon as she was running, it was time to take her for a ride. We're not sure what seems to have been the issue. There's either something with moisture in the fuse box, or maybe the battery was low. And I actually thought that was not a possibility, because I thought that if she's hooked up on electrical, that she charges also onto the car battery. Turns out the solar panels do, but I haven't really been paying lots of attention if my solar panels are in sunshine long enough. So maybe somehow the car battery had just gotten way too low. This had me really worried there for a moment, but luckily all seems well. It was lovely to take her for a spin again, and after driving for a little bit, I restarted her and all of the codes are gone, so it probably is some sort of an issue with the battery. Today has truly been an emotional roller coaster, and I'm very grateful that we made it to the new spot. Even though I had not planned to take Sophie for a spin today, it awakened something inside of me. I always like to think that all things happen for a reason. And who knows? Maybe Sophie is trying to tell me something. Maybe we are ready. Maybe the time has come to go on another road trip.